Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for pre-need burials and cremation, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mrs. Norma Jean Matthews, age 83, died December 27th at her residence. Funeral service will be held Friday at Curtis & Son North at 2 p.m. with the Reverend David Mann and the Reverend Brian Blakely officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Matthews was a member of the Plainview Baptist Church. Visitation will be tonight from 5 until 8 p.m. at Curtis & Son North. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Margaret J. Thacker, age 84, is Friday, December the 30th at 11 a.m. from Curtis & Son North, with Brother Kerry Brown officiating. Burial in the Fayetteville Methodist Cemetery. Mrs. Thacker died Tuesday, December 27th at Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. The station will be tonight 5 until 7 at Curtis & Son North. In lieu of flowers or food, please make donations to the Sylacauga, that's the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Thomas Eddie Johnson, age 66, of Alpine, died yesterday at St. Vincent's Hospital in Birmingham. Funeral arrangements are pending. They'll be announced by Radley Smith Funeral Home. Funeral service for James David Johnson II, age 26, will be Friday at 1 o'clock from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel. Brother Wayne McDaniel officiating. Burial in the Tallahatchie Cemetery. Mr. Johnson died Saturday, December 24th. Visitation tonight, 5 until 8 at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. Priscilla Ann Mathis went home to be with the Lord December 27th while vacationing in her favorite place, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. She was 73 years old. Funeral service will be held Friday at 2 p.m. from Wayside Baptist Church with the Reverend John Harold Denny, the Reverend Fred Woodall, and the Reverend Shane Dismuke officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 8 at the funeral home. The family will accept flowers or memorial contributions may be made to the American Diabetes Association, P.O. Box 11454, Alexandria, Virginia, 22312. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Graveside service for Mr. Bobby Mask, age 69, of Alexander City, is Friday at 1 o'clock from Russell Farms Baptist Cemetery. The Reverend Ricky Culp officiating. Mr. Mask died Tuesday, December 27th at his residence. He was a member of the Russell Farm Baptist Church. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Mary Jones Lackey, age 70, is today at Talladega Funeral Home with the Reverend Larry Barber officiating. Burial in the Oak Hill Cemetery. The family receiving friends today at 2 p.m. prior to the service. Mrs. Lackey died December 27th, and she attended the Sanctuary Church of God in Sylacauga. Talladega Funeral Home directing that service. Funeral service for Mr. Clayton Bo Dean Hurst, age 81, is Friday at 1 o'clock from Talladega Funeral Home. Brother Lee Frost officiating. Burial in the Manning's Chapel Baptist Cemetery in Lineville. The family receiving friends tonight, 6 until 8. Mr. Hurst died Tuesday at his residence. He was of Protestant faith and regularly met with the pastor of Ironton Church of Christ. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Maddie Randall Watts, age 73, of Alexander City, is today at 2 o'clock from Bethel Baptist Church South. Burial in the Bethel South Baptist Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. The Reverend Andy Kinman officiating. Mrs. Watts died Tuesday, December 27th at her residence. The family will accept flowers or memorial contribution be made to the Children's Hospital in Birmingham. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home directing that service. Funeral service for Jody Albert McDonald, age 91, will be Friday at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. The Reverend Robert Blankenship and the Reverend Walt Hedstrom officiating. That service begins at 1 o'clock. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family receiving friends tonight, 6 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. McDonald died December 26. He was a native of Talladega County and a longtime member of the Bible Methodist, where he served as Sunday school teacher. And he was also a veteran of the U.S. Navy, served in World War II. In lieu of flowers, memorials may be made to Gentiva Hospice, 1825 Day Street, Oxford, Alabama. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home directing. Visitation this morning, I should say, visitation this morning at Talladega Funeral Home for Thurby Francis Lowry, who went home to be with the Lord on December 22nd. That visitation this morning at Talladega Funeral Home beginning at 9 o'clock. A graveside service at Midway Memory Garden Cemetery at 11 o'clock this morning. Talladega Funeral Home directing. And funeral service for Miss Robin F. Smith, age 55, is today at the Apostolic Tried and Rejected Stone Church of the Lord Jesus in Childersburg beginning at 1 o'clock. Burial in the ATRS Church Cemetery in Childersburg. Community Funeral Home will direct that service. This obituary report brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 is your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home. For pre-need burials and cremations, it's Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.